Well guys, welcome to the Eastern Front. Now Combat Mission Red Thunder is this game. I don't think I've shown it before, so I'll provide you all with a brief explanation of what it is, then a brief explanation of what this is. Because this is a special scenario. Combat Mission Red Thunder is set in 1944 and simulates Operation Bagration, where the Russians eat army group center and 6 million Germans or something like that. I'm not really sure. But long story short, they crush every little tiny bit of German offensive capability left, and pretty much defensive capability, and it rolls all the way up to Berlin and eats them. This scenario is using the unit models from 1944, trying to find a nice little balance that makes it feel like 1941. Where the Russians are terrified and under everything, under-equipped, under-supplied, under-manned, or, well, at least equal with the Germans. And the Germans are rolling them. With my intention here being to eventually create a long series of maps to try and simulate the entire Eastern Front, but that's a really long stretch goal. I made this in about a day and a half. Oh, and by the way, this is something I have made. I threw in some basic AI plans for Russians to run screaming from the hills if certain things are met. And I mean, they're pretty well dug in some places, so it shouldn't be ridiculously easy. Shake them out of their positions. Should be a hell of a fight in some places. But, don't expect it to be bloodless. So, the general scenario. 3 objectives. Oh, and just another side note. I have no idea how to do point values. So, don't take the ending screen with a grain of salt and just look at the actual, reports and how long it takes to make your own judgment of whether or not I won. Because I will. I have pretty much no idea how to actually make a scenario score properly. If any of you guys watching this have ideas for what scoring should be after watching me play the scenario, it'd be wonderful. But basic gist is as follows. We have 1 reinforced company of grenadiers. The reinforcements consist of 2 scout teams and a sniper, along with an armored column appearing later on in about 10 minutes, which will be to help us push across this giant open area. Because the Russians might be scared and inexperienced and really unwilling to be out here, and in general just not the greatest troops. But they are well armed, and that could be a problem. I'm running quite a few mods. Nothing with Nazi regalia right now. Normally I don't tend to like it too much, and I don't think I have any on here, but every now and then it sneaks its way into my packs. I'm all for historical accuracy, but every now and then the Nazis annoy me a little too much, and I just like my good old coal scuttle helmets. So you know what, these trucks, for me, I have included them for reasons twofold. First off, I never get a chance to use the Opel Blitz trucks, ever, in the scenario. They're, always used to transport guns and shit. The infantry are always stuck in half-tracks, because, the late war. But, also, I like my maps to be a kilometer by a kilometer. It takes a hell of a long time to walk. So I figure trucks would make it useful without making it really easy, especially in this early stage where the Russians' anti-tank weapons consist of shoot at it a lot and hope a bullet goes through the windscreen. So we'll start off here. We got some nice little wooded bits here with some nice little openings. I'm really proud about this map because it's my first one I made, so I'll brag about it pretty much incessantly. So if you don't like that, fuck you. It took a lot of my time. Anyway. You'll have to excuse the Gewehr 43s. I don't know how to get rid of them. So we'll go ahead and do a hunt move to the end of this thing. I'm trying to play this as I would a regular game. Let's go ahead and take those movements off of them. Looks like we'll be moving on a right echelon towards the small hill on our left flank there, right. Okay, that's weird. I've got a YouTube notification specifically about combat mission. About roughly what I'm talking about right now. Oh shit, no. Be quiet, me. I'm doing my own commentary, not you. Shut the fuck up. It's that scenario where I got my ass handed to me by trying to play a bunch of Kriegsmarine schoolboys who get eaten alive. Bust off some scout teams and go, I don't know, scout, I guess? It's like Boy Scouts, except with guns. A recruiter, to me, once. I believe him. Why wouldn't you believe him, Army recruiter? Just take an MG-34 on the ground floor, pointing towards a small hill. Put a sniper in the second floor. Second floor. So speed. Speed is moderately important during this scenario. I mean, you have a whole goddamn hour, and I'm not really sure if that means it'll take a while or it won't take a while. But yeah, now they got this guy all the way over in the left window. He's in a fairly good position to manhandle that MG-34. We'll keep our 42 pinned up in the truck because I don't know how to make it a 34. I'm kind of busted through this real quick. If you want to play this scenario, let me know. Then try not to watch the rest of the video because I've only got one AI plan. And just drop a like and say I like the... Whatever, let's play the game. So it starts off as all combat missions game do by the scouts shit walking into the forest. Oh, okay. So we'll pop forward a bit. We'll see that we can start seeing some fortifications atop Hill 131. Probably likely to have something similar on 132, since they're both objectives. We actually spot a Maxim. Our sniper spots the Maxim up on top of the hill and fucking nails him in the eye. Okay, the sniper might be overpowered. I'll leave men for anyone bright enough to use them. Is that the sniper again? Hold up. No, that's the MG. Well, luckily that sniper has given us a wealth of information. Whoopsie. All tabbed out. Should come back real quick. Go ahead and finish up that turn. Just keep up with our whole echelon right formation. Right, not just reset this whole thing. The boys walk up that way. The scout teams in this mission were intended not by me so much to be forward scouting teams as much as they are 3 dudes with submachine guns and a fuckload of grenades. Which I've read the Germans also use them as that sometimes. What are they called? Aufklärung Truppe. Because they would hand them submachine guns and tell them to go kick ass, and it's... yeah, whatever. Some of you may have noticed a general trend amongst the map design of this that looks like other things you know, and you swear you know what it is. And the answer is yes. This is the opening map from Close Combat 3. You know, you got Pavlov's house over here, that little farm thingy. You can't treat your friend. They're always watching. I feel kind of bad about introducing the sniper now. He's just kind of chewing through them. Damn, is he good? Anyway, so my troops are slowly advancing. Man, he's got really good eyes on them. Nope, I would say that probably sounds like contact, judging by the massive bullets. So, you guys see him? Alrighty, it's decent. It looks like we're beginning to form a decent idea of what the defensive line consists of. Here you can see another great mod I've got installed, besides Vane's usual uniform wonders. For this mission and the early war missions that I'm building from scratch only, I've got sweet little hat mods to make them look like militias instead of a highly trained conscript shock force. A trained conscript shock force. Please ignore the Gewehr 43s. I'm trying my best to, but god do I hate them so much. The Maxim might be improperly placed. It annoys me that so much of the Maxim has been taken out. It's supposed to be a major threat to this roadway. Especially initially when all you have is trucks, and so it's essentially what pins all these units in. If you try and move them, they'll just get eaten alive. Gives a reason to this battle. Anyway, having established a firm idea of where the enemy actually is, we should probably, instead of just fucking around willy-nilly, let's form up, because I know I have a bad habit of never actually going in a formation. I know God invented formations for a reason. Reason was probably so I could not get my ass handed to me. As hard. All the time. We'll keep our scouts in reserve because I don't know. I don't want to. I want to, I mean. Push these guys up. Push these guys. Or I'll keep them back for now, actually. And we'll start shooting at this guy with our rifles and see if that prompts him to start, you know, shooting themselves. Not shooting themselves, but to start shooting at them. That you all get the idea. Anyway, next turn. Let's watch it from a distance and then watch it from up close. If anything cool happens, like everyone dies. Well, they've definitely attracted the ire of everyone. It really seems like in general these guys are having a hard time engaging upwards. Well, these guys are still forming up, but this hill seems to be adequately suppressed by an MG34 that we got set up. But in general, we're developing this fortification line pretty quickly. So yeah, you can tell the Russians are quite dug in. They've had all the time in the world to dig in, considering this is Russia, and they've had about 20 years to actually dig their way in. We've managed to suppress the Maxim by I don't know, I guess we shot at them. Yeah, so okay, so what's going on over here? Let's take a closer look at this firefight. So our boys over here pour fire in from a single bolt action rifle. Meanwhile, these gents move up. Who's got the okay, you do. Given the MG42 clear line of fire, and he's pouring it into that Maxim up there. And yeah, these guys ain't too happy about the current state of affairs. They were expecting a peaceful day. Yeah, that MG42 is what's keeping them alive right now. We need to push these guys up a bit more. Meanwhile, no one in this platoon has yet got engaged. That's good for us. I mean, they're a bit clumped up, but I imagine they're separating slowly. Yeah. Over here, an MG34 just sort of pours on into him. Yep, you'll get there eventually. And he gets him, finally. After go 40 rounds. And the sniper continues blinking away at this entire ridge. The MG34 continues to make itself useful by blasting away at the hill. We'll probably give it an actual targeting order and then try and rush up this side, since this side seems to be adequately suppressed. Probably try and rush this guy over here as well. it is difficult to engage up the hill. That is a very real problem that we're having right now. It's what I enjoy, but it is a problem. I'd say I enjoy it as in, like, it works as the scenario is intended. That's kind of far. This should push them all into contact around about the same-ish time. If it doesn't, well, that should. Same with those guys. At this point, I think I'll order that MG34 to start just layering this area. That's pretty dense with Russians. With some covering fire, keep that sniper on Overwatch. The other MG42 is still pinned up in here. I don't want to break them out because I want to break these guys down real soon and get a move on. I would like to be about midway through this field, 10 minutes in. Looks like these guys are freaking out, man. See if that helps out. Concentrate our frontage a little bit more. Another decently valid option for this is to stack up a couple of platoons in one of these things and hit one hill directly. And try and suppress from close range, and then work your way around the side and come up one of the sides. I would say. It could definitely be countered by the Russian player, but so can this by just shooting at them. I think this is personally the most effective way, is you put pressure on the right and pressure on the left, but the left has that additional suppression, but this line cracks. It has to crack. Unless I've broken something and they don't run when the tanks show up, but they'll probably break. So then we got that MG34 just sort of layering this entire hill with fire. But around about these guys start firing their submachine guns, they should be receiving fire from German units just about anywhere. Looks like they hit a guy, wounded the assistant. But they're taking casualties about as fast as they give them. Facing out an entire platoon of firefighting guns, that is difficult. That's weird. I would have sworn they would have had contact by now. Looks like they're having some trouble maintaining good visual on that. Anyway, back to the fight at hand. Looks like this guys ran and then reformed quite readily. So I'll just push them back around and then back up here. Probably pop some smoke for those guys and pop some for those guys and then well, that should be fine. Keep that MG34 running. Yeah, it looks like they're freaking out on the Maxim right now. Don't really know what to do with it. Who's that sniper see? No one? Figures. I could grab them and go looking for targets out in this wheat field, but it's a pretty big risk of moving around that fortified hill. Now that density should be offset by the fact that we're moving well, I mean, we're moving in a pretty dense environment. Once again, I don't want to take too many casualties. It is, once again, literally the first day of the war. I want to get in a good position and lay down an absolute fuckload of fire. We can probably convince most of these guys to run. And yeah, there you can see it. They're breaking and rushing from their forward positions and heading somewhere back. It's a bit hard to shoot all the way up the hill, but we may get them yet. Over there as well, they're running. Just trying to make a mental note of where they're running to see if I fucked up any of my triggers. I don't think so. Most notably because none of them could have been set off yet. And he stopped too soon. Alright, so the AI seems to be working properly. It's doing what I thought it would do. And, a few minutes of gunfire and then deciding that it just doesn't want to. Maxim seems to have pointed sideways and is firing over here. Looks like a second platoon's assault is going much better than anticipated, but that machine gun fire from over there will have to be suppressed somehow. I want to keep this fire going for, let's say about 2 more minutes, and then I will say it's been spent. Give, yeah, throw your smoke, guys. Come on. Give these guys a chance to get set up. Don't throw the smoke at this point. We'll probably be fine. See if we can't force these Russians off the heights over here. Looks like they're spotted by a good bulk of the platoon. We'll be also moving our MP40 guys up to here. Probably start marching up this side, see if we can't rush certain areas. But one thing we do need to do is secure at least this left side of Hill 131. And so we can do that, then this opens the road to us, to soft vehicles. I believe the sniper's already been doing that pretty well. But we still have to find a way to cross this little open bit of ground right here. I don't want to sacrifice my MP40s because we still have a village to clear at the end of this. And I can guarantee you that there is someone in the village. That's my little spoiler. So yeah, with that all said and done, go ahead and let it run. First, we'll check on this firefight over here, where it seems to have gotten a lot more bogged down than I would have liked to. Little tongues of fire creeping out from the border. No one shooting, however, as they've all decided to take the day off. That is strange. I think they've all taken cover behind the trees. Meanwhile, the scouts are crawling ever forward. Some more MG42 fire streaks out. Let's go observe this firefight. An almighty shitload of fire continues to fly into the second platoon, striking men as they try and flee. I would say I think the rear trenches have been abandoned, or the front trenches have been abandoned by now. And I would wager sending an assault team up. Not the scouts specifically per se, but an assault team. It looks like the Maximus set up a shop in the rear corner, but snipers caught wind of his shenanigans. Can they last? It's a hell of a shot if he can make it. And he just misses. Over on the flank, second squad takes an interest in the big hill, starts pouring fire in. Looks like they've managed to suppress him at least a little. Well, these guys are getting a bit bogged down and having trouble just seeing what's going on. So I'm just gonna start giving them some fire orders and, well, they can just start shooting. I think a lot of it's that smoke. Try and see what we can't do to this left side. Meanwhile, over here, I'm gonna bust off an assault team, so that'll be the leader. Meanwhile, this guy will watch for targets. Well, these two gentlemen are going to sweep this these trenches. At this point, I don't honestly know where anyone's gone to, because they started running. So anyway, I want him to bust his ass for me. Sergeant Othman. Wanted to give me a little jog. Hunt on up to here. Tell me what you see. And if it's every single Russian on the goddamn planet, please come back. And I think that machine gunner will be good firing there for that amount of time. Alrighty, let's see if 3rd platoon can pick up the base. Looks like the gentleman with MP40s continue to contemplate firing at the enemy. Meanwhile, second squad as well wonders what it would be like to engage in actual combat. Second platoon does the work of two, neutralizing the left side of this place. And did they kill that Russian? Jesus. Peppering everything, literally everything, with bullets. Meanwhile, one man with a rifle continues to scare 4 Russians with a machine gun. This truly is the Eastern Front. But yeah, I think I'll have to reposition this platoon, possibly start moving them up in a bounding maneuver. And let's go see how Orthman's charge goes. He stands up, promptly done with this shit, and decides he's going to cross this valley thing. Once out of the woods, he's actually able to move because he's not running through a bunch of random shit. Meanwhile, the Russians retreat towards the stronghold in the center with the machine gun pointed directly at it, but luckily with the sniper pointed directly at the machine gun. Sniper is still trying to get him. One of these days. They make it to the other side of the hill and are able to casually jog up the side of this hill, seeking to understand whether or not this place is absolutely crawling with Russians. Gonna have to sneak up to the berm, and I guess we'll find out next time on Dragon Ball Z or something. But it looks like this MG-34's job has been done, so we're gonna pack it up, and it takes 2 minutes to deploy an MG. You can deploy an MG-42 in 20 seconds, but it takes 2 minutes to deploy an MG-34. Yeah, there are some definite design issues there. I'm gonna start ordering that sniper to fire a little bit more willy-nilly, as one may call it. Because I don't like snipers. I think I'll also have these guys mimic that order, so they at least wind up in the same tile as these gents. Suspect they'll pop up here and find not a whole lot of Russians in the front line, but a whole lot of whatever somewhere. So we'll crawl forward a few more feet. The MP40s will not shoot anything because they have an effective range of 100 meters, and this is exactly 130. So they'll just sit there and be good at looking at things, but terrible at engaging them. We'll crawl back. With the combined firepower of 2 platoons, we just might be able to knock them down. God, I love the MG42 and its ridiculous ability to be just lugged everywhere. I'll also rush these scout units up there, because what do they exist for in life besides to be used? We'll get that machine gunner eventually. Don't you worry. We'll also have the platoon leader pull himself back and push up. so that these guys don't freak out and go running through enemy lines or whatever. I don't really know. They're probably gonna do some stupid shit like that or something. Anyway. Othman continues his walk up until one of the privates is brutally cut down by a whole bunch of Soviets. Alrighty. Good thing I didn't give a run order up there. And they've panicked and run directly into the enemy lines. Like that one thing I said they shouldn't do. God damn it, combat mission. You never fail to do this to me. Sergeant, you had literally one direction to run. It was back to the rest of your platoon. Not towards the bullets. I appreciate your bravery, but also I do not appreciate your absolute idiocy. So we've lost one of our main NCOs. It's no matter, as long as the turn ends quickly and I don't have to lose any more. Turns out the Russians have an absolutely appalling amount of small arms. I mean to say machine guns. So we will be good at engaging them at range. But noting how the machine gun is only firing at us here, I think that means we are clear to bust our way down this road. With both our machine guns in tow, I'm going to send company commander and everyone else blasting down this road. So the machine gun is over here. I doubt he can engage anything beyond that point. So the hump. We're going to be sticking by the hump. Which is fair because I didn't want to move past the hump anyway. There's a very noticeable hump in this field. I like to stay behind it. And we'll just deploy everyone to this flank and see if we can't get some sort of something going on. I'll keep those machine guns in reserve because the sniper rides with them. And leaving someone behind in a house a kilometer away from their ride is just mean. Oh, anyway, they're not all dead, and we can still probably grab the MP40. And I mean, Curtis is a decent enough corporal, or equivalent. Oh, they ran. God, what assholes. They also lost their machine gun. Okay. Noted. Yeah, one thing I do really want to find is a Soviet formation which doesn't have so many automatic weapons. I found it really hard to find one that didn't have more than 3 PPSHs per squad. Which, I mean, to be fair, was useful, but it made it not even just really hard to find, but just Really hard to design a scenario that doesn't involve snuggling up to the Soviets. This guy is firing his pistol, but he has a machine gun. Anyways, I think I'll deploy that platoon over here and try and walk around the side and come up over here and hit them from behind. They've sort of isolated themselves on top of the hill, but we need it. So this gives us dominance of the rest of the area. But we're in no rush. I'd like to be done before 10 minutes are up, but we don't need to be done. Yeah, we start putting fire into those guys. We actually hit him. Damn. Deadeye shot right there. Regardless, here comes the Opal Blitz. Takes some fire, offloading troops. Oh, don't tell me you can actually see it. Well, this is a really good position for that machine gun. Get out and throw some smoke. Maybe our sniper one day will get the guy. That'd be pretty nice. Come on, dude. But it is giving us an edge on that bead on that guy. I do want to get the company commander out of the truck, though. I forgot he was in there. I don't think he can hit it. So we still got some fire going up, but I don't see any more Russians sticking their heads up. Betting you we've pushed them all back off the front line, so I'll probably let up on the fire and see if I've actually done that. Oh, damn, he actually hit it. I'll probably have these guys reverse the hell out of there. The trucks are fine. mean, more or less, as long as I don't hit the driver or anything. Oh, someone back up here? The Blitzkrieg has arrived. Alrighty. Oh, darn it. 2-2Ws are the ones with 20 mils. I wanted to do the 2-2-3s. But that'll be changed in the final release version, which will be much dinkier and not as powerful. For this one, I'll just try and substitute machine guns where I can. But yeah, early war stuff. A Panzer II. The Blitzkrieg here, and it's gonna fuck your shit. So I don't think these guys have engaged in anything recently. So I'm just gonna push them over here. Meanwhile, I will stop giving these guys movement orders like that. Do that. We will see if we can't. First off, I want to get this truck all the way the fuck back here. If this guy can figure out how to work a clutch, that would be just absolutely wonderful. See, when I do targeted fire with those guys, I'll use their machine guns. Because they're, not supposed to have 20 mils. But maybe it'll be hard with their 20 mils anyway. I don't know. I want to reduce severely the amount of firepower we could bring. Move these guys at the hunt. Machine guns still giving us trouble, but I mean, not quite as bad as it could be. Everyone gets off the road. Really see the decrease in traction brought by that off-roading. Should at least keep everyone's head down. I am kind of annoyed by how hard it is for these guys to spot things. I might take out that last little bit of woods along this too, because last time they got into some pretty decent fights without that problem. I am going to use this guy in a supporting role. And he's dismounted the car, but the car's fine. Alright, Boston, just chill out by the side of the road. We've got a shitload of smoke going up for you, so don't you worry. We'll see if we can't, we'll just hold here. We'll form a little perimeter. I don't think anyone's shooting at him anymore. So these guys will hurry on up to right there. We'll all rush the area together once that car has been up there. That car will just pummel the shit out of something. Not sure what, but it'll pummel the hell out of it. Probably send up a scout team. The scout team will get shot at, the car will shoot it, and everyone else comes up. Sounds good to me. Yeah, alright. And as always, these guys didn't find shit. Panzer II seems to get off a nifty little spot on that machine gun. Looks like the Maxim gunner has packed up and is going home. Who sees him? The sniper. Well, that's the entire platoon here. God knows where the Maxim guy is going. I think the bulk of the firing is coming from this area over here now. Did they hit him, or they just find him? Oh, they just found him. Alright. Yeah, it looks like it's a bit too hard to see up this hill. Fair enough. Fair enough. I'll probably remove that forest, because I want this to be easy to see. These fights are supposed to be short, kind of violent. Not this almost 15-minute affair of fucking around. Fucking around. Let's bust on up here. Just start tearing the hell out of that area. You guys will go here. I just want them to get in the trenches. That should be enough time to give these boys a ability to climb this hill, sit here and just blow the fuck out of that area. That area. Have these boys hunt forward too. See if we can't get some more firing opportunities going. Alright, let's go. I'm trying not to push too far forward because I know what's out here, but I don't think a good player would push that far forward fast without having taken one of these hills, because these are the reconnaissance choke points. Oh, wait, he's hit the trigger, hasn't he? Yeah, I have a trigger on here for if you start to flank them, they bug the fuck out. I'm not too keen on getting shot to pieces. Of course, you can totally freak them out. Like what's going on right now. Anyway, you can see it. A lot of them, like if these two houses fall, see a good chunk of them start to fall back. This is essentially that route from the front line. Anyone who can hear about it is kind of getting out of dodge. Right over here is a nice little ambush for anyone who tries to push that car right down the road. The person who correctly identifies this braking, which I mean it'd be pretty hard not to, given how I placed the trigger right there poorly. I'll probably go back and revisit that. Or leave some troops who don't get the trigger in a different group who just sit up here regardless. So with that in mind, let's have those guys go that way. Looks like it's gonna take him a while to get his shit together, so in the meantime we'll be bringing the trucks up to get them all put up in a row, get the sniper inboard and all that. Everyone recombobulated. Just in case we miss someone, I don't want them to go running all over the damn place. Go ahead and clear that target. Over there. And yeah, the flanking ones were meant to give both the AI a decent chance of retreating in case they get flanked, so that if one of these hills starts to get taken, they'll just abandon the other one if this one of these hills gets flanked. Because remember, these guys aren't exactly, you know, hold the hill to the last minute. And also, if this hill's taking fire from this hill, there ain't no way in hell they're getting off that hill. So I want them to be able to bust out and go back in the map. And I don't know, it's a map where I want the tempo to be very much your own speed, but you have to keep acting if you want to maintain the initiative, because the AI will do other shit. I think I'll actually leave these guys up here with all their wounded and broken men. They can also cover other roads. we've still got a few Russians up here. You can see over here just a general rout taking place. We're starting to take some distant fire from the village. Imagine they're none too pleased with the current state of affairs. And as you can see, they're running for the field, and they're going to try and hide in these flowers, or this sunflower, maybe. If they can make it, they'll probably become damn nigh invisible, and should prove to be a nice little problem for anyone hoping to advance rapidly this way. Meanwhile, over here on the left, you can see the Russians fording the river, revealing a potential fjord. They're hauling ass. Looks like they're going to garrison the orchard. Who fired that shot? Was it that guy? Yeah. Anyway, if his wits have returned to him, we will go about trying to get back in the car. 10 seconds for them. 15 for him, just so that everyone gets it in the proper order. I want these guys to haul ass so we can keep the initiative going. Get our next blitz in the convoy. And trust that this outpost has been abandoned just based on how the Ruskies are acting. Those boys haven't been shot at, which is a decent indication that we can start moving our troops up. We've picked up most of them, except for that scout team. Or, except for that scout team, which is currently playing medic. But it's fine because, well, we're not going to need them for a little while, judging by the open terrain. We'll need them again once we get to the village, and find a way to get to the village. Anyway, I'm going to essentially detail this guy to convoy security. He'll go sit over here. I'll have this Panzer II try and do a lightning movement over this way to just sort of sever the line of retreat. But they're hauling ass. It's fair enough that they might just be able to get out of their reach before we can get up there. I mean, they've had a minute, and they're already more or less across the field. Once again, don't know if it's everyone in those positions. It could be not everyone. I might change it. I might make another plan. Another AI plan. So over here we take our first prisoners of the war. There's no time to really frisk them. Just keep shooting, there's more Russians out there. Start taking fire from an MG all the way on the other side of the river. Should set him to ambush. Meanwhile, over here, we got to go through the wonderfully complex loading procedure of getting like 16 dudes into a truck. Honestly, judging by the position of the machine guns, it's probably best if we go on these heavy machine guns and snipers up on top of those hills. Get you guys in the cars. Oh well. Regardless, go drive this truck by over here. Drop off our MG34. These guys are putting fire onto those guys as well. And our infantry aren't taking any return fire either, so we'll probably pop our tank crews out to at least get a decent view of what's going on in the world. With that, I think I will conclude this episode. Oh yeah, and the mission's called Opening Day on their Ostfront, which I think is fun. Anyway, I'll see you on the next one. Until then, I've been your Commander Tomato. Thank you for watching. It's shaping up to be a quick one. Be done by Christmas.